Yo, what's up, guys? It's Misa on the keys here, and I am here again with my guy, my brother from another mother, Dr. J Isaac. Yes. What's going on, bro?
Thank you for having me again.
Hey, listen, man. At this point, you come with the show. Like, you know what I mean? This is a package.
That's awesome.
So
I'm very,
we're gonna have to see you more and more. Like I'm talking about every week.
Yeah, you know what? I will make it a point in my schedule.
Let's do it. It's locked in.
It's locked in.
So listen, guys. Every single week, you heard him. He got to be right here doing this.
If I'm not, tweet me.
tweet
DM me. Let me know. Say, hey, man, you wasn't on this episode. Where you at?
So last time we were on the podcast, we were talking about asking the right questions. Right. And because, like I told you last time, I'm kind of good with these questions. So let me throw a question out to you, real quick. Let's start off because I want to get a little bit of your feedback on this topic, and I feel like a lot of people out there, you know, they can really use this, right? So my question to you is, what do you like? What goes through your mind, right? Because you do a bunch of different things, right? So what goes through your mind? What is like to do a bunch of different things, and how will you know what to start with, right? Because you know you can grab the camera, you can play an instrument, you can get on the mic. You there's so much you can do, but it's like, what do you really start with?
Wow, that's a good question. I think that's a question a lot of people in this day and age who find themselves as multi-faceted or multidisciplinary creatives find themselves asking themselves, which is like, yo, where do I put my energy first?
Yes. That's what I'm saying. So how did you decide what to put your energy in?
Well, you know, I just gotta look at the game, really. And when I say the game is the game of value for real. So it's like,
I love that word.
Everything.
I love the word. I don't know what it is about the word value, but it's just,
bro.
It's
because ultimately,
it's life.
Value is what we base our society off of. Because it's like, the thing about value is like, you can't value one thing and more than you value another thing. It's just that's how value works.
Right. It's almost like your measurement, like your own measurement form.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when you play the game of value, which exists within everything.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's how you're able to discern like what to prioritize and whatnot. Right. So for me, what I do is I try to go into the pit. I try to go into the places that value me the most.
That value you the most.
Value me and my skill set and my resources the most. And that's how I discern between opportunities and distractions, you know, in tandem to having core values. Because my core values are the things that I've built my skill set in.
Right. I remember last time we were talking about that.
So if we're talking about now, if I'm converting that into like tangible things, it's like, all right, now I have my skill set. The next thing to do is develop skills within my value, my core values.
Right.
So that then I could leverage that for opportunities.
And you said another key word right there, leverage. Oh my gosh. Leverage, I feel like is the name. You got value, you got leverage, right? So now leverage.
Well, they come hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tandem.
Exactly.
Because it's like this. It's the same thing. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Well,
but the key is to know how to use your leverage. No, I'm sorry. To learn how to use your value, like to learn how to leverage your value. There you go. There it is. You gotta learn how to leverage.
No, because that, bro, within every industry and within everything, that is the thing. It's
you gotta learn how to
leverage your value.
See, I knew it had to come together, right?
Because hey, man, that's in business, that's in friendship, that's in dating,
that's in everything, bro.
That's in everything.
Yo, so talk to me about that, because I like, from your point of view, I know as an artist first, you know, you realize
remembering that.
Of course.
Right.
You know, but you had to understand, okay, listen, I can either sit there and say, let me just focus on this, or let me start preparing myself.
No, for sure, because I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, that within itself has started to breed. We was talking about this last time. Not only a resentment towards other artists, but like, I would say a bit of insecurity within my own artistry. Mainly because it's like I said, I highly judge people based upon the questions that they're asking, and for me, like, all the questions in my line of questioning has come from me trying to figure out how to be the best artist that I could be for me.
For you. But then the more you work with these people,
and find myself in spaces where it's like I said, being an A&R, being an engineer, being a producer, being a songwriter, being a person in media, working in PR, working in just so many different things, live sound, you know what I'm saying?
But don't you feel like that's another plus, right? The fact that you've been in so many different positions, so you can understand how everybody thinks.
You know what it's like? It's like this. You remember when you were a kid and you was playing a video game, and your mom would call you and be like, Misa, come do that, come sweep the floors, or come clean the front lawn, cut the grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, essentially, you have to go do those things before you can go back to the video games. And you'd be like, let me pause this real quick, dude, so I can get back to what it is that I really want to do. Right. So for me, everything else that I've ever done has been things where it's like, all right, let me go do this thing so I can get back to the thing. But where I'm lucky, and where not a lot of people are, is that I developed a specific skill set that would allow me to be fluent or inept or just better at, like, picking up whatever it is that I need to do at any given moment, right? Okay. Because I was trained in school, in college, as an actor. So to be an actor, you kind of have to be the person who's kind of like a jack of all trades, where you have, or at least have an affinity to be able to pick up things very quickly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't know who you might act as tomorrow. So you just gotta jump in that role, and
it's all about intensives, where it's like the people who play doctors or policemen or firefighters on TV could almost low key do those jobs because they have to know. It's like, because when you're saying something, like, as an actor, you have to be able to justify it within the speech. So how that comes across is different, because that's you saying things with the understanding of what you're saying.
You're right. It's not just talking. It's not just saying those words.
If I say, hey, this person needs an incision in their abdomen, I'm saying that because I know that if I cut in another place, then it's not going to do the thing that I need to do.
It's almost like the actor has to study.
Yes.
Not just the role, like, as in, like, reading the paper, but almost like study the person and become that person.
Right.
So it's like, if I'm a fireman, I have to become the fireman. I gotta
talk to firemen.
Yeah, I have to talk to firemen.
I gotta be in that environment.
I have to live that lifestyle.
Right.
And
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, right?
Lifestyles.
Exactly. Right. So that's why when these actors are saying, to prepare for the role, I had to.
Exactly. I had to. Da. And it's so crazy because it's like, you have different methods of acting where it's like, you have, Stanislavski, then you got, like, Adler, and then you got, like, method acting, which is, like, the whole thing about method acting, and why some people don't really dive into that kind of thing is just like, yo, bro, I don't got to smoke crack to play a crackhead. Method, because as an actor, our job is to be true,
right?
Not real.
Let's break that down. Break that down, because true and real are so close to each other.
Exactly.
You almost have to.
Like I said, I don't gotta smoke crack for me to play crackhead.
You just gotta be true, not real.
So, for example, if I stay up for 72 hours, force myself, I might be able to play a drug addict on some, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
You know, there might be some physical things that start to form. I might start to get like, you know, bags under my eyes. I might start to, you know, not hear what everybody's saying when they're saying it to me. Yeah, you know, just different things where it's like it would equate to the truth of that condition.
Okay, I see exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
And you feel like that you had to go through that in the music side as well, because right now you have
me being trained as an actor only made me a better music. You know what? Not just a musician, but performer, because we are in the performing arts. And the way that I treat when I go into the booth, I treat the microphone like a camera. So one thing that I hate.
Talk to him.
I'm finna talk about it. No, I'm finna talk about it.
That's the point of the podcast.
Right. I'm finna talk in English. Here we go.
Yeah, talk in English.
One of the things as an engineer, but with the specific training that I have and all the background that I have, because most engineers don't know how to communicate this because they're socially inept. But that's another conversation.
No. We have to break it down today.
Right. Okay. So for me, like, being an engineer sometimes, or being a producer or a songwriter, working with different artists, one of the things I get annoyed about is people coming to the studio unprepared.
Because you as an artist yourself, you're like, yo, how is it?
Bro, I ain't never been in a studio and like not have something ready. If I write something in the studio, it's because I already recorded what it is I came to record.
Then you just go.
I'm gonna say that one more time. Because people don't understand how to treat the studio.
Talk to me.
People don't understand. People don't understand how to treat the studio. Don't come unless you got bars. Don't come unless you got something written. It doesn't have to be for the song that you're about to record. Just write. You need to write all of the time. You got to have stuff just in the vault.
Yeah.
You might start spinning something down and be like, you know what? This not working.
Yeah.
Let me do something else.
Exactly.
Let me give this a different cadence.
Time,
I got these 4 bars right here. You know what? These 4 bars that I wrote as a part of a verse for another song might work as a hook.
I see it all the time.
That's what I'm saying. So just as an engineer and as an artist and as an actor, like I said, I look at the microphone in the booth as a camera. How do I look as an actor coming on to set and not knowing my lines? You know what would happen? I would get fired. That's what would happen.
Right away.
That's unprofessional. Because then, you know, the thing that happens is that the artists, they get mad at me or they get mad
at the engineer.
For the money that they're spending on the studio time, when the engineer don't got nothing to do with that. They don't got none about the price of the studio. They don't got none about the rates or anything like that. You got to make sure when you come to the spot that you're ready. Don't go to the studio unless you got something to record. Record it on your phone, bro. They got GarageBand for iOS. Record yourself on your phone before you go to the studio and you're on a U87. It's like, bro.
They don't understand the value. I think it goes back to value.
It goes back to value. Exactly.
Because now studios have been so accessible.
Right.
You know, it's not like
commodified.
Right. So what happens is, $50 an hour? Let me go hang out for an hour. And now the studio owner or the studio engineer, whoever is responsible, you know, they're looking at it like, yo, we're not even going to pay no mind to these people. We're just going to let them do their thing. If you want to jump around the studio, jump around the studio. As long as you don't break nothing, of course.
Right.
But we're not going to care about your actual craft because
you don't care about it.
You don't care about it. If you come to the studio, you know, with the mindset of like, oh, I'm just going to see what happens, you know, then shit, you might as well just take that money, go to the mall and just splurge on yourself because you're not doing no justice to yourself.
Take that 150, cop a new fit. That'll do more of what you're looking for than being in the studio.
Wasting time. Now, if you're
wasting not only your time but my time.
Of course.
Or the engineer's time.
Yo, there's sessions that I've done 8-hour sessions, and only 2 hours out of that 8 hours we're actually getting work done.
Of course.
So you're literally having an engineer sit there for what? To do
and
what?
Here's the thing. As an engineer, I'm fine with that. But where I get my pet peeve is where you get mad at that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like
course.
as the artist, like
if the artist,
you get mad at that, where it's like, dang, I just paid for 8 hours and made one song. Well, nigga. Nigga. That's all I gotta say. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
you feel me? Like
you said that. It really just reminds me of a few clients that I've had in the past.
we're not gonna speak.
Yeah, we're not gonna speak on it.
We're not gonna speak on it.
But if it's you watching, yeah, we're talking about you because you know, at the end of the day, like what can we say? So
you know what I'm saying, bro? Like,
but the point is, you now been around.
Right.
You know what you got to do. And like you play every position. So you know how every position should behave and shouldn't behave based on your experience.
Right.
Okay. So now talk to an artist specifically, right? Let's talk to an artist that they only know about being an artist, right? So their etiquette is all over the place.
Right.
Just overall in the business industry.
Well,
right?
here's the thing. If you're only an artist who's just concerned about being an artist, and you better have some people on your team who you trust, who have experience, and who believe in you. You feel what I'm saying? That's it. And that's the only way that as an artist you can only worry about your Logic project. That is literally
where you can say, you know what, I don't got
only way.
I don't want to worry about nothing.
Where you're not thinking about nothing but the chords. Or
That's
the whatever. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the only way.
And it is very tough for an artist in today's world to find a solid team that truly
first of all, the people who are actually doing all of those things is very far and few in between. Why? Because everybody wants to be artists. And it's crazy because most of the people who are in the positions for doing things for artists were artists. Most of the people who were running these blogs during the blog era, they were artists. Most of the people who are A&Rs were also artists. Most of the people who are also DJs are also, who are also producers, are also engineers. The whole industry is made up of people who at one point wanted to be artists but asked extra questions and made a living.
I can find something else that I can provide value and I don't have to stress about, being the artist.
Exactly.
And now, do you feel like, in your case, you kind of landed there, or you're like, nah, I'm coming back around. I just had to stop at these places.
For me, it's exactly that.
Do we see a potential of J Isaac saying, you know what, now it's my go? So,
oh no, definitively.
Okay,
definitively. Because here's my thing, man. I mean, if there's just one thing that I've learned about the industry, looking at people like, you know what? There was just this thing that happened, like, Suge Knight. If you start a sentence with Suge Knight, you
already started crazy.
But look, basically, Suge Knight spat.
The animations here are crazy.
That's crazy. But Suge Knight spat in Leor Cohen's face. I don't know if the people out there know who Leor Cohen is. If you don't, you need to Google.
Nah.
You need to Google. Use Google. Leor Cohen. He spat in Leor Cohen's face. You know how crazy that is? Over a deal that he was negotiating about Snoop Dogg.
That's insane, bro.
Insanity.
It's almost like at this point you feel like you're above the law.
Right. But it's like, what? No, but to me, you know what's the question I'm asking?
What
that nigga Leor say?
What did he have to say? That's true though. That's
true. Did Leor say that? I mean, granted, Suge Knight is a crazy nigga. We know this.
But you have to say something that made
provocation. Yeah. You had to say something to provoke. Where it's like, if we're over here, we're negotiating. We're here for a deal, and you say something to me where I'm like, nigga, what do you think this is? See, because what I didn't want to do was an artist. What I didn't want to do was be an artist in a situation like Lauryn Hill or Wesley Snipes. Well, which I love them people.
Right.
But they had no clue what their team was up to. You dig? So it's not even because I want to do certain things. It's because I want to have a better understanding so I can direct someone with even more of an understanding. So we're on the same path.
Of course.
Or we're on the same wavelength where it's like, you're doing what I'm telling you to do because I know what it is that you need to do for me. Because the way I see collaboration, it's either one of three things. I'm sorry. Either in the field of collaboration in general, it's either one, you're coming into my house,
right?
Which I got rules. You got to take off your shoes. Or two, I'm coming into your house, which you might say no smoking, right? And then there's us building a house.
Where we decide?
Every decision that's being made, we have to come to each other on. It's like, all right, well, okay, well, how many floors are we building? Okay, well, what does the structure of it look like?
Yeah.
Is there a basement?
Right.
Well, where are we building the house? Is this in Cali? Do we not have a basement?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So you feel like artists should really take the time to build a team, okay, that either they control or right. B, they have a say in, not solely focus on their shit.
Well, I mean, honestly, bro, if you don't understand what it is that the other person is doing, you do not have a say. How are you going to tell me?
Wait, just because you don't know, does that mean that they shouldn't have a say?
No. If I'm a chef and I'm chefing for you and you just want something to taste good, nigga, you don't know what's going on. You just said, I want something that tastes good.
Oh, so okay, I get you. But how about if you're in the business of, you're looking to be a chef.
Okay.
Right? And then you go to a chef, you're like, yo,
but
man,
that's different.
And then you start asking questions.
Yeah, that's completely different.
Okay.
That's completely different from trying to get your taste buds satisfied as opposed to, trying to learn. That's the difference between like wanting to get in the gym and paying for a membership as opposed to wanting to have the results. And that's why we see a huge influx of gym memberships in January. How many of those same people are still at the gym?
Listen, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Because people don't want to put in the work.
Platinum Fitness has the best model.
Right.
They literally focus on the people that want to, but they just won't go. And they just know how to target them so perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, come on, $10 a month, right? I'm talking about pizza. I'm talking about.
You saw my face.
I'm talking about.
You mean right now?
Right. I'm talking about minimizing the tools that the people who go to the gym need. Just so you can have a bunch of treadmills and a bunch of, little 30-minute workouts.
Taking up space.
It's just the best business.
Right.
Right. So then that's why you
low overhead, you just.
Yeah, right. For
low maintenance.
Where's the maintenance? You got a guy just walk. I mean, shout out to everybody that works at Planet Fitness, Yeah. But the point is, come on, you're paying just to have like.
No, shout out to the people who own a Planet.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, no, definitely shout out to you because you guys are the real geniuses,
right?
To understand, like, all right, yo, I'm gonna hop into something.
This is a market.
This is everywhere.
I halfway want to work out.
Right.
Like, I don't want to really get that aki.
No. I just need a picture for Instagram.
Right. I want to just have the option to get aki if I need to.
Got you. It's there. But you got limited tools.
Right.
Because I never seen a trainer at Planet Fitness.
See, but then that's the thing about having a trainer. You know what's almost like having a trainer? Having a mentor.
Ooh.
It is crazy.
Ooh.
It's
don't tell me.
I know that's crazy. That's crazy. I know. It's
you know that mentorship is the ultimate cheat code to success.
Really?
It's the ultimate. It's
I believe that.
You open the doors to the wise now. Because remember, you got smart people that learn from their mistakes.
Right.
But then you got the wise people that learn from others' mistakes.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So once you open that door, bro, everything versus you were like, oh, what am I gonna do now? You know how us, we're young. We're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen now? It's like, bro, just ask somebody who's been through it.
Right.
Stop It's like trying to figure out how to set up a Facebook account if you're not tech savvy.
Right.
Well, you could just go to YouTube and watch a video.
Just ask the question. You know, one of my mentors said there was like experience is a substitute teacher for wisdom. So if I put my hand on the stove and I burn my hand, and you see that happen, you don't got to do the same thing to know that you're gonna get burned. But what happens is there's this thing. It's called the arrogance of youth, where we would think, oh, what's hot for you might not be hot for me.
Right.
But nigga,
I can handle it type shit.
Scolding is a scolding, nigga. Like 350 degrees Fahrenheit is hot, nigga. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just this thing that happens where, you know, but I don't know. But that's why mentorship, like you were saying, is so important.
I can't with you.
And the thing is, if you don't seek wisdom, then you won't have mentors.
Yeah. That's literally right there.
Literally.
You have to seek wisdom, bro.
Literally. Bro, and honestly, bro, that's all I've done in my life is that, you know, continuing from, that's always a constant theme that I always talk about is core values. So just continuing from that, I'm just looking at like, okay, here's the things. Who does those things? And I just go to them and I'm like, yo, bro, how do you know? I'm
going to tell you a quick story, right?
Come on.
Mm. So I take the train, right? I'm a 17-year-old kid.
I'm visualizing.
I got my suit on, my blue suit. You know, I love blue. So I got my nice blue suit on. Okay. I take the train all the way to the Javits Convention, right? The Javits Convention Theater. Mm-hmm. And, you know, small business owners, you know, it's an expo for small business owners. Right. And, you know, right on the corner, they had a little, like, speed dating section, right? Where it's like you get to meet, like different business owners, right? So you only got
just like man,
back and forth. Right?
Okay. Speed dating, that makes sense.
Right. So it's like the speed dating vibe because you only got, like, a minute to introduce yourself. Okay. And then they have to introduce it. And then you give... You give
like
your
an elevator pitch.
Yeah, so you give like different elevator pitches, right?
Okay.
So boom.
Yeah.
So I got in because I was like, you know what? I don't know nobody here. Let me start networking. Like that's the reason why I came here, right?
Right.
Again, you got to seek wisdom, right? So I said, you know, where else is gonna be at but a small business convention center? I mean, a small business expo at a convention center. Right. There you go.
Right.
Well, we're going crazy, but I get excited when I tell the story because this is where it really all started to click for me, right? And I'm going to explain why. Right. Because the first two people that I sat with, right, happened to become my mentors for the upcoming years after that. The first two people. Like I'm talking about, I sat with the first guy and the guy gave me his pitch. And then I told him, I said, hey, I'm a 17-year-old business owner. I own a recording studio. They're like, what, you 17? Like, this is a 40-year-old man, you know. And then the other guy was a little older. And he's looking at me like, what are you doing here type thing? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that you're thinking about being here on an afternoon when you probably should be in school or something.
Everybody else is, like, after school, trying to find out where they finna smoke.
Well, exactly.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Let me take this time. Let me do it. And it just happened to be that those two people, because they own different businesses, they got to show me a little bit of their world.
Right.
So after that, we stayed in contact. I got them to come into the office. Mm-hmm. And, bro, one of them, right, he gave me something super valuable that really changed my business, right? Because, as a recording studio, and shout out to all recording studios out there, but as a recording studio, you normally charge per hour, right? So I didn't really understand too much of the business, so I just kept my business at a per hour situation. You want a studio session? At the time, it was like $30 an hour, right? Nothing too crazy.
Right. Very
Bro,
affordable, yeah.
This man, as a 17-year-old kid, right? This man says, listen, I love the studio, whatever. Let's sit down. He got a white piece of paper. And he was like, all right, what you sell? I said, well, I sell recording time. I can also do videos. And at the time he was like, what else can you do? I was like, I don't know, like maybe a little bit of mixing. Just started breaking down my businesses. He's like, all right, perfect. Now, how much if I want everything? And I was like, I never really thought about it like that because people usually just one or the other. Yeah, just like, I just want to come in session. That's it. Call it a day. Yeah. He was like, $4,000. I said, $4,000? They're like, yeah, put everything, $4,000. He said, go home and make 3 packages. And only show your customers those 3 packages. Stop telling them that you do studio time. Make them come to the office. You sit down with them. You do a consultation. And you make them either get package A, B, or C. The next day, I made those packages. I was like, WordPress, not WordPress, Word document, right?
Word doc.
Word doc, right?
Right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm studying now. Now I'm going on Google, and I'm like, how to make packages, because I'm not.
Hey, this is putting a lot of things in context for y'all out here.
If they don't really understand where.
Yo, you said, but go ahead.
Then he tells me, he calls me the next day. He's like, you got it? I said, yeah, I have it.
So he was on it.
No, he was on me.
You the next day.
No, bro, because the thing is,
accountability, that's so important.
Yeah, bro, for someone to help me the way he did, like he pulled up to my office. He took his time. He bought me lunch. He sat down. It's almost like he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
You know what it probably was? Himself.
Ooh. Oh, God. Yo, now that you put it that way, I believe it.
Right.
That it's like he probably learned certain things at a later age.
That's
where it's
how
like
mentorship works, man.
Bro, I gotta wrap this up.
Go ahead,
I'm gonna tell you
ahead.
because I gotta wrap this up.
Go ahead.
I'm right here.
No,
this
right
is
here
the game
with
changer
it,
for me.
man.
This is the game changer.
Yeah.
He calls me up
What did he do after that?
and he says, "Yo, you got it." I send it to him. He reviews it and he's like, "Fix this, this, and this," and then send it back to me. So I send it back to him.
Yeah.
He was like, "All right, cool. Start using it." Bro, the same day, I had an appointment. Somebody had a studio session.
Someone hit you up
No. Somebody already had a studio session.
Okay.
Like I already had an appointment set for that day.
Right.
That session was a $60 session because it was 2 hours. It was $30 an hour.
Right.
Bro, I sat down with the client right after we finished, and I'm like, "Hey, listen, I see that you're consistent. I see this is something that you truly want to take serious. I have something for you." I pulled it out, nervous as hell, right? I pulled it out. I said, "I got plan A, B, and C. I think this one will work best for you because this is what you want to do, blah, 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 blah." Bro, the package was for $3,500. She left there with a $1,500 deposit. Ever since she did that,
that made you feel different.
I'm like, this is business.
Right.
And then I started realizing
Right.
I need to start focusing on the bigger dollars because I was just focusing on the. I was just focusing on the basics.
On the dollar menu, when it's like, get the meal.
Yo, it truly changed my business.
Why get just fries?
Yo, ever since then,
right?
It was, I'm closing a deal here, 4,000 here, as a recording studio.
Right.
That now I can hire a team. Because now I'm making more money to say, yo, I need a videographer, I need a photographer, you know, I need another engineer because now I'm pretty packed.
Right.
So it like he really changed the game for me, and I was like, oh no, this is crazy.
But that's such game, and it's so crazy because it's like,
yeah, bro.
You know, you explaining it sounds simple.
It sounds very simple,
and it really be like that. It really just takes that much of a slight shift in your pathology to like get down to the nitty gritty of what it is you really got to do. Bro. You know, because often the answers that we're all looking for is right in front of us.
It's right in front of us.
Right.
And then ever since then, I'm like, no. Listen, yo, I started calling this man almost every day because I'm like, if he taught me that and in a matter of 24 to 48 hours.
Like, no, I need to talk to you.
I'm like, yo, this guy just like, come on, let's go. I told him, I was like, how can we do it? Like, if it got to a point where I felt like I needed to help him in his business.
No.
Because he helped me so much in my business that I'm like, what can I do for you?
And that is the point. And that right there, that's how real mentor-mentee relationships are built. Because I told you, man, all I do is I go and I ask people, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Because people, like, that's just not most times people are going into situations thinking how they could just benefit from it. But it's like, if you're thinking how you can benefit someone else, you're automatically going to benefit.
Yeah.
You're automatically going to benefit. That person's going to help you. You know what I'm saying?
So now, Jay, right? Now talk to me, because you know the name of the game is about always being steps ahead, right? So like, I'm pretty sure you've seen what's going on with Kanye West and that whole lawsuit and that situation.
Oh, yeah.
What like?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's something going on there.
The sampling jump with with that's so crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
like they
it's
talking
genius.
about
that's the way I see it. But
it's crazy.
I see it from
I don't know if they know about this, but like, I mean, like, I look at something like what Kanye just did with the STEM player, right? Because they were saying how apparently he's reporting that he didn't make any money off of the STEM player.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was also reported that they made $2 million in sales off of it because they were selling it at $200 or something like that.
So something's going on there.
Right. See, now I always do a little bit digging. So when I first heard about that, and I was like, Ye said he ain't made no bread. Well, why he say that? So I'm looking at it, I'm like, actually, he's being sued right now. He's being sued for a song that was on Donda 2 by a publishing company.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, he's saying that he himself, Kanye West, as an entity, didn't make any bread. Well, that doesn't mean none of his subsidiaries or shell companies did. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of protecting himself in a way where it's like, hey, I, Kanye, didn't make no money. You know what I'm saying? And the lawsuit is filed under that. So
that he's 10 steps ahead of what's going on.
You think someone told him that?
Like,
told him how to be.
Listen, bro.
You gotta have mentors.
You got it just goes back to having mentors and having the team.
Because to me, that seems like a Jay-Z move, and not a Kanye move. You know what I'm saying? That seemed like some type.
Listen, when you're that high level, I feel like when you're that high level, you have to.
But what he said? He said, "I'm a businessman, not a business." No, he said, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman."
Of course, because he knows the strategies, and as a business person,
right.
You have to take care of all your angles, right? Make sure you're covered all your angles. And what I love about these people is that, yes, they make a lot of money, but they spend a lot of money taking care of their assets.
Right.
If
it's chess, not checkers.
Exactly. It's chess, don't make all this money and go crazy. Right. Understand how to make the money work for you and how to use the money to cover your other assets.
Right, because that's thinking long term.
Right.
That's how you play chess. Because checkers is very like.
Yeah, no. It's definitely chess, and I mean that situation is crazy, but
it's super crazy.
I know he's gonna win on this.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, like how much the average artist probably doesn't know and understand. Having first of all, if you are not only just an artist but operating any kind of small business, it's probably best you don't use your own social security number for things and you have an EIN. And if you haven't registered to get one of those,
talk about it all the time. It's like, as artists, you should have an LLC, period. Right? Just because you do music, just because, bro, you do music and you want to offer a service. You want to go on that stage and you want to provide that venue owner.
But you know what I think? That's, bro, you touching on it. But that's so important because it's not only do you have to because as a artist, you are a small business.
Of course. Every artist that I work with, seriously, because there's people that just in and out, they just want to make music or whatever. But those who say, all right, this is what I truly want to do. I'm like, all right, look, let's take some time off the studio real quick and let's sit down and let's talk about the business.
Right.
Because
until then, you just in the studio,
in the studio making music.
There isn't. You don't have a brand. You don't have a
fact that
you.
But just the fact that, and I've seen this all the time.
Right.
The fact that an artist can tell me that they got the bread for studio time, but they are arguing about $128 to open up your LLC, just shows where their mind is.
Where their prioritization.
Of course. Because, if I tell you today about LLC and I see you next year, not next week, not next month, next year, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's your LLC? Oh, I'm still working on it. What do you mean you're still working on it?
Right. I've seen you in the studio a few more times from when you had said that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But then you want us to take you serious. You want somebody to come to you and say, "Yo, I want to sign you." Yeah. Bro, first of all, and we got to talk about this because you, as a manager yourself, you know this, right? Right. Someone who takes an artist and actually works with them. Listen, if you don't have an LLC, you don't have a business. That means that manager doesn't have a business to manage, which means that they're managing a person. And you're not going to come to me or him or anyone and say, "Hey, I want you to be my manager." What am I supposed to do? Just call you and tell you when to shower or when to brush your teeth? Manage your life?
I mean, one of the things that you've said to me that I stole, I'm like, I love that, is one of the things that I heard you say that I stole and I ran with was, if you run your business solely off Cash App, you don't have a business, you have a hustle.
We did talk about that. Absolutely. Because I feel like, if you don't set up yourself for success, like, come on, you think labels are Cash Apping people? I mean, we've heard.
No, you know what labels are doing? Labels are net 30.
Yeah.
Hey, you gonna get your bread in a bit. Because dealing with us, you gonna get your bread. Because we're not talking about small amounts of bread.
No. You know
what I'm saying?
And net 30 comes in all different forms. Like I own a juice bar as well.
Right.
And it's so easy to set up net 30 accounts for certain businesses where you can say, all right, listen, I could get the food today, right? I could get all my fruits and everything I need today. Make my money this month. And with the money I make, I'm paying you back.
Right.
So it's like, if you don't set yourself, straight from the beginning, with the fundamentals, making sure that you have your LLC, making sure you have your paperwork. First of all, actually, I'm already on fifth of all, but whatever. Another thing, because we got into it, I'm very passionate about this.
We get into it.
If you're walking around, going to studio sessions with no split sheet.
Oh my God.
With no split sheet.
Talk about it. Y'all not making music together, bro. If you come into the studio, y'all not signing split sheets, just bring it up, bro. Before you even do anything.
And I think it's because people have an issue because they're afraid that they're going to hurt somebody else's feelings, right? If we're in the vibe, we drink, you vibe it, and then I got to stop and I got to say, "Hey, bro, listen, look, I'm taking 50%.
Yeah.
That might throw you off because you're like, I was just vibing with you. Now you bugging because you only did that hook.
Right.
And that's understandable. And my recommendation is to do it from the beginning.
Right. Because if it's after the fact and you only did the hook, right. But let's say you didn't even write you just gave a flow for the hook. I gave you the lyrics for the hook.
Right.
Right. I'm like, we need to split this evenly?
Right.
I feel like you should get like 15%.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And now people are going back and forth in this.
But if you set up, let's say your fundamentals. That's why you fundamental, making sure everybody knows that when you're doing business, you have your paperwork. So you know that the first thing that's gonna come out before we even start getting excited about the beat is that split sheet. Now, you don't got to fill it all the way up because you won't know exactly who's getting what at the end. But at least everybody has it in their mind. Just bring it up at the beginning so everybody knows what's going on.
Right.
That's it.
That's a good feeler. That's how you should judge whether or not you should collaborate with somebody. Or
Absolutely.
Not. For real.
And then the other thing is
what's up?
That people, because they don't have the LLCs, they're not maximizing all the free shit that they're giving. Because the truth is that everything we do is not really free. There's a cost to it because if you were charging somebody, we'll have a price tag on it.
Right.
But sometimes we say, "Oh, we're going to do this show just for exposure." Bro, your value. See, if you don't even understand your value, this is why you'll never make money in the business, right? Because if you invite me today, right, to go at an event, but you're my boy, right? And you're the owner of the space or whatever the case might be, you have your LLC, I have my LLC. I can invoice your LLC for my presence being there to do that show.
Right.
Now, I could put in the invoice that I'm giving you 100% off. But now, that $200 is still a tax deductible because that's marketing. I'm saying to my business, I'm writing it off as like, yo, listen, I want to do...
Are y'all not hearing this, man? Did y'all not just hear this, man? This is game.
This is marketing.
This is game.
For me to go and use my talents for free.
Right.
Because I could easily be charging. That's what my business is supposed to be doing. And I'm, it's like the store giving you a 20% off or 50% off.
Right.
They're using that as a tax deductible.
Oh my!
So they never really lose. So if you're out here giving free features, let's give them real game, bro.
No, you're really giving game.
If you're
now.
giving free features,
really getting game. We getting
for
into
the
it
love,
now.
right? For the love of music, you giving out free features. Come on. The truth is, you guys should write an agreement and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna do this feature for you for free.
Right.
But I'm going to invoice you at 100% off. So you have documentation that you did the service. Right. So when the IRS says, hold on, you talking about you spent $100,000 this year in marketing? We're like, yeah, because I gave 100 people $1,000 worth of my services. Like, it just has to make sense.
Hey, man. His Cash App is Misa on the Y'all just got some free game right there.
Now, I would definitely advise, of course,
hey, man.
Make sure you structure it well with your accountant.
Oh,
right? I always say,
but Misa, that's the thing. It's like, yo, you just, even within just the last things you just said, that's just so much game. But like, why do you think that so many artists just have such a hard time, like I don't know, finding certain types of information, or maybe, is it because that they themselves aren't, seeking that, or are they, like, how much of the responsibility is it on them that they need to go, as opposed to things that weren't told to them? You know what I mean?
It's 100% your responsibility. If you're over the age of 16 years old, it's 100% your responsibility.
Because I'm also saying that, the industry has created a culture where people think this is easier than it is. They look at certain people's stories. Because
that's what sells. You got to remember that's the selling point. Right. If it looks so hard, ain't nobody want to do it. Like imagine we look at doctors the way we look at musicians and artists.
Right. I mean, but like, think about it, because like, back in like, let's say like the 80s, right? I feel like the learning curve for being an art, because like back then, like before the early 2000s, I'd say, it's like, nigga, if you wasn't like on like Prince or Michael Jackson's like level, you're not like a musician. Like, they were musicians. Like, yes. I feel like that's why the 70s era of music also has just a different weight on it.
Because we didn't have this.
Right.
But now we're not, like, the labels ain't thinking about who's the most talented.
Right.
They're thinking about who's gonna drive me traffic faster.
Right.
This is literally on a mission to pretty much run. It's all power, right? So it's like, if I got you and you run this whole side of town, and I got him and he runs this whole side of town, and now I got you both, I'm running all this. Right. Because now you signed to me, which now means if I tell you move to the left, you got to move to the left.
Right. Because
you decided, you made that decision. We offer you a situation. You decided to say yes to it. That's why I recommend, if an artist is serious about their business and they're right now thinking, yo, I need to get signed by a label. I'm looking for,
That's like asking for a handout.
That's one.
Right.
But number two, that's putting yourself in a hole. That's number one.
Right.
But the problem with putting yourself in that hole is that hole comes with percentage of your business.
Right.
They're not just giving you a loan with interest. They're giving you a loan with interest with percentage in your business.
So it's like, you got to pay. Not only do you got to pay me back, you got to pay me back more than what I paid you, on top of giving me ownership of your business.
Yes.
Wow.
Now you gave somebody else control, all because you were like, hey, I need $100,000 because with $100,000 I can scale my business. And the truth is, yes, you do need funds. But I do believe that artists should definitely look forward to finding ways to fund their business. But they should get their LLC.
Right.
Okay, work on their credit, right? Work on themselves, invest in yourself. There's nothing more sexy right? When a woman invests in her beauty, invests in herself to a man because it shows like she cares about herself. So imagine what she gonna do with me. So now, if we find that sexy, right, as men, then imagine a label finding an artist that being actually that is willing to go 100% into their shit.
You put your makeup on. You got that.
You get what I'm saying? So
nails done, all of that. Okay.
It just comes down to this.
Yeah.
Build your business independently as an artist, understanding that like we talked about earlier, you need mentorship. Right. You want that cheat code? Find yourself a mentor. Right. If you don't find yourself a mentor, it's like you don't know where to go. You could Google it, but that's gonna it's scattered information.
So for anybody out there who is curious about how you find mentors, I will repeat this again. I said this last time. I'll say it again. Think about what you want to do. Go to the places where those things are happening. Look for the people who are doing the things and say, hey, my name is such and such. I do such and such. How can I help you? And that's it.
That's the cheat code right there to getting the mentor. So not only we're telling you to get a mentor, but you how to get a mentor. So now, again, it goes back to it's up to you.
You want to be a chef, find a kitchen.
Yep. That's it. Listen, we can sit here all day and break down so much, but we're out of time.
Right.
But once again, bro, I really appreciate you.
Always, man. Always, man.
And everybody watching, listen, focus on finding a mentor, focus on building your business, stay locked in, stay focused, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Talk to Me in English.